Hiya traders, welcome to everybody. Thanks so much for joining this Capitalise AI webinar exclusive for FXCM traders. And as always, we really appreciate you taking time out to be here, so thank you. I'm going to give a moment or two to get some late traders or traders that are running late to give them time to get in the room. And in the meantime, find the chat box somewhere on the screen, open it up, and give me a quick yes that you can hear me, you can see my screen. And while we're running this webinar, please, if there's any issues that you can't hear me or the sound's not great or the screen goes, please let me know straight away on chat. Zanita, hello, welcome. Ivy, let me know you can hear me. Papi, Ele, Kim, Chris, let me know you can hear me. Carter, Susan, traders, let me know that all of you can hear me, you can see my screen, and we'll get moving. As well, while we're waiting for some more traders just to enter the room just for a minute or two, let me know in the chat what assets you're normally trading. Are you trading currencies? Are you trading stocks, CFDs? Are you trading indices? Give me an idea of what you're generally, or what asset class you're generally trading with. As well, you can add in there what indicators are you using, price action, are you using indicators, eco data, what's your main, where do you get most of your signals from? And guys, just waiting for a few. Chris, thank you, welcome. Susan, great. I think most of you can hear me. Most of you can see my screen. So traders, let's get moving on. And during the session, as I mentioned, feel free to pop any questions you may have on the chat. Let's make it as interactive as we can. So to log into your account or to create an account, you can just come to capitalise.ai and you can go to login, and you'll be able to log into your FXCM account for Capitalise. If you haven't set up an account yet, you can do it through here as well, through the login page. Here we're just seeing a video of the Capitalise AI wizard in action, and we're going to go through some examples now, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about automating your trading. So let's go to our home screen, and anyone here that is using Capitalise will know you can log in at fxcm.capitalise.ai. If you forgot your password, you have a link here to reset it. If you haven't got an account, you can sign up for free. And if there's any issues, even at this stage, get us in the chat box at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. This is the best way to reach us. So let's go ahead and log in. Zanita, awesome. Thank you for your answer there. Great, guys. So welcome to Capitalise. At Capitalise, we enable traders with no coding knowledge, with no experience, to create and automate their trading strategies using freestyle text. We're going to get into that in a moment, but the first screen you'll see here when you log in is the live examples page. And I'm not going to go into this too much. We're going to come back to this in a moment. But here you can get some inspiration, and you can see different types of strategies that are going on. You can use a template, and we're going to do all of that in a moment. Notice at the bottom right, you have the chat as well. So if you're ever having issues with creating strategies or anything, that's the best place to reach us. Then on the left-hand menu bar here, you can navigate anywhere and everywhere on Capitalise, and we're going to go through all of these. But first, we're going to start with the most important, and that's create a new strategy. So traders, Today, I'm going to show you how you can create, backtest, and automate your trading strategies. I'm going to show you how you can test a strategy against real-time live tick data. You can monitor the markets and set up smart notifications. And we'll go into and we'll try auto optimize a strategy or two while we're doing this. And we're going to do this all in freestyle text in everyday English. So here we have the Capitalise AI wizard, and here is where you create any strategy, whether you're going to be backtesting, whether you're going to simulate, which is very similar to paper trading, or whether you're going to run live. Great, so we're going to create our first strategy here, and at Capitalise, we want you to create the strategy exactly as you think it. So let's go with a very simple strategy here, and let's see what we got. So we're going to go with let's actually not even use a condition on this one. So let's go buy 10. Let's say buy 1 apple. Okay, that's going to be our entry. This is at market price. Let me just see here. You can also use a limit price, and I'll show you the different types of orders that you can do on Capitalise a little bit later on. I see we have some traders coming in late. You're not too late. We're just at the beginning. We're just creating our first strategy on Capitalise. So guys, thanks for joining. So what we'll do is we'll just buy 1 apple. We're just going to do this on a market order. You could go at market. You don't really have to. So we'll just buy 1 apple, and we'll click next. And notice at the top, the timeline is highlighted on the exit. You know that you're on the exit, and feel free to move back. It's not going to erase anything. And let's just try a very simple close position. So let's close the position. Let's say at a trailing, or let me get my syntax right first, at trailing stop of, let's go for 2%. Let's see what comes up. Here you'll be able to once or in loop. We're not going to worry about it for the first strategy because we're just actually going to backtest the strategy. But for our next strategy, we'll simulate, and I'll go into once and in loop. So from now, we're going to click next. And we're on the confirmation page. Here you can name your strategy. So you don't have to give it a name. If you don't want to, we'll give it a name. We'll just call this buy 1 apple. And you can see you have your entry conditions, you have your exit conditions, and you have your entry action. As we said, we're on market order, we're buying 1, and we're on GTC. All strategies are defaulted to GTC. You can use GTD as well, and I'll show you that in a couple of strategies time. And then here you have your full trading solution. So you can backtest your strategy, you can simulate it, or you can run live. And we'll go through all of these during this session, but we're going to backtest this strategy first. Let's go ahead. And guys, while I'm running this, feel free to pop those questions onto the chat. Great, so here we have our backtest page. And you'll see here we have a backtest limitation, just like any backtesting software. At Capitalise, we use 1 minute historical data. So we look at the open, high, low, and close of each minute for the past 90 days, and we run the strategy through that. It's obviously very different if you're simulating or you're running live, which is using live tick data updated multiple times a second. And there we have our strategy play out over the last 90 days. Let's just go through this page because most of the strategy pages look similar, whether you're backtesting, simulating, or running live. So notice this is our beta version. It backtests for 90 days. So yesterday, 90 days previous, including weekends. Let's see, need a question coming through. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading 2 questions here. Give me a moment. Okay, so David, good question. Is this service free of charge? Yes, it is. If you are an FXCM trader, you can use Capitalise AI free of charge. There are no extra fees when using Capitalise. Even if you're automating your trading, there are no extra fees on it. Capitalise AI is free of charge. Zanita, Zanita's asking, would you be able to manage if the price goes against you? Possibly, Zanita, could you elaborate on that question? And while you're doing that, let me go through this page for all of you. If you understand this page and what it's telling you, you'll be able to understand simulation and live really easy. So we have the performance for the last 90 days. We have 21 hits. Now, a hit is a cycle. It's an entry and an exit, and each strategy needs to go through one cycle before starting the next. So at the moment, you can't have multiple entries. You have to have an entry and an exit before it starts the next cycle. We then have our total P&L. This P&L is gross. It's exclusive of trading fees and commissions and so on. We then have run live. And here is your control panel. I'm going to come back to the control panel in a moment. It's really important for simulation and live and for optimizing. I'm going to come back to this in a second. Let's just look at this page quickly. So let's have a look here. We have our entry, we have our exit. We can see here our trade chart. And this represents each trade that's happened. So if we move our mouse pointer over a certain trade, you can see that this is hit 18. It returned 1.1%. The P&L was 0.14. And you can also see the min P&L and the max P&L that the trade reached during the time it was active. Zanita, yes. Okay, Zanita's asking if we can add a stop loss. Most certainly we can add a stop loss. I'm going to go into a few more strategies after this where we're actually going to use multiple conditions to automate our strategies with. Great question there, Zanita. Let's see if I got any more questions. Okay, great. So let's say we were just looking at trade 18. You can see some information here, but if you want some more details, like what time did this happen, you know, what was the execution price and so on, you can find that in the right-hand column here in the notification panel. So you can see we're on hit 21. You can see hit 21 doesn't have an exit, which means it hasn't closed yet. This was entered on the 3rd of June and it's still running. But we could move down and you can see there's exit of 20 and then entry of 20 and then 19 exit and then entry. And then we have 18's exit and entry. So this is the trade we were looking at, and we can see that it entered on May 19th, 9:31 a.m. My time on this platform's on US Eastern. You can adjust it to whichever time zone you want on the platform. And then you can see the trade closed 2 days later at 3:56 p.m. And then you can also see the execution price of the exit, and here is the execution price of the entry, and it was obviously 1 unit as we conditioned in our entry. Then just below you have your winning and losing ratio. You have the amount of hits that we're losing, for instance. You can see the loss amount for each hit. Some of you may notice that there's only 20 hits here and there's 21 total hits here. That's because the last hit hasn't closed. So Apple's obviously been moving fairly horizontal around the 123 mark, and it hasn't closed yet. So it's not counted in the winning or the losing. Zanita, would you look to D1 chart to see bigger picture of the trend? Could you elaborate on that as well? And while Zanita does that, let's get moving on to the next strategy. Oh, firstly, before I forgot, we need to go over the control panel. So here you can control your trades. So you can run live if you like this strategy. You can edit the backtest, you can clone it, you can rerun the backtest, or you can get a shareable link. So let's take a hypothetical example that you like. You found this backtest, you like this backtest, and you want to now tested against real-time live tick data in the market. You could just select clone, and that's going to bring up the exact strategy on the wizard. So all you'd have to do is click next, and simulate. And this is going to trigger instantly because we went in at market. This triggered straight away. And you can see here we've actually got some data going. So you can see the pages look very similar. There's a few differences. For instance, here you can enter a total stop loss for the strategy. So for example, we can say if the total stop loss, if the strategy gets to minus $100, we want the strategy to stop. You could also put a stop loss in the exit condition as well, and we'll get into that in a moment. Here you can see we have our card that just executed. We can see the execution price at 131.78. This is the main difference here is we have a widget monitoring the current hit. So you can see the entries happened already. We're working on the exit. The exit is a trailing stop of 2%. Here is our P&L at the moment, and the moment it reaches to our blue area, then we're going to it's going to exit the position. A few important things while you're when you're simulating or when you're running live is you can stop your strategies here. Now, this is specifically important for when you have live strategies. You have preferences here. The first preference is to stop the strategy and close all the positions. That means nothing's open, everything's closed, and there's nothing to worry about. However, you could select preference 2 as well, which would stop the strategy, but keep the positions open on your FXCM account. So that way, the positions are your responsibility. You need to close them when you see fit. So make sure to check your preferences. Alternatively, you can edit the strategy or any strategy for that matter, and you don't have to stop it. It's not going to reset your data or anything like that. You can just edit it. So we could say, okay, buy one apple, let's leave that, and let's say we want to increase our trailing stop to 5%. We could change it to 5%, click next, and save changes. So feel free to edit your strategies as you go on. Great. So traders, we've gone through how to backtest and how to simulate. So let's go through quickly live example of the My Strategy page, and then let's get into some strategies. We're going to create some strategies, try to optimize them, and so on. Zanita, can you sell as well? Yes, you can. You can create sell strategies, and you can create buy strategies as well. So yes, maybe we'll create a sell strategy as well, Zanita, as we go through this. So let's go to our left-hand menu bar, and let's go to our second item. We're going to go through the browse examples page here, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, this is a great way for you guys to find some inspiration or see what kind of strategies you can use. And because I have Zanita chatting here, and she mentioned she's a currency trader, let's go with Forex. And you could go by tags as well. So for example, if you want to trade on, let's say, strategies that are around support and resistance, and let's say we want to look at NZD, USD, and USD CHF, let's say. You're going to have a wide variety of strategies here. Firstly, you can view the performance. So you can view the performance for the last 30 days. And you can see this looks very much like the simulation strategy page that we were in. Here is our trade chart. We have our winning and losing ratio, and we have our notification panel. You can see the total P&L and so on. And if you like a strategy here, David, great to hear you're a Forex trader too, and thank you for getting in on the chatting action. So here, if you traders like this strategy, or you find a strategy you like and you want to now test it, you could actually just go use as a template. Now, use as template is a simple, it's exactly like clone. It's just going to bring the strategy up onto the wizard. The only difference is you've got to enter the amount. Here at Capitalise, we don't work in lots. So, you know, if you're doing one lot, which is 100,000 units, if I'm not mistaken, you would write one lot like that. Or if you wanted micro or so on, you could go down. So let's say we'll just go with sell 1,000 NZD USD. Oh, here we are, Zanita. Here we have a sell strategy going. If the 60 by 1 minute bar change of NZD USD is negative. So basically, if the hour change in NZD USD is negative, then you want to sell. And don't worry about how it's written yet. You could write it 1 by 1 hour. This way here, the way it's written, 60 by 1 minute, means every single minute it's calculating the change. So, you know, you're getting up-to-date data on that. Whereas if you were here using 1 by 1 hour, which we should be able to put in, let's just see if we can, 1 by 1 hour bar, that would only calculate each hour. So yeah, Zanita, that's correct. It's an hour time frame. So this, if we use this, the calculation would be made once every hour. However, because we're using this, and we'll just change that to minutes, we're calculating it each minute. So we could click, oh, another thing that I actually forgot to mention in the beginning is anytime you select an asset, you have a link below here to TradingView. And, you know, it's just your regular TradingView. You can add indicators, adjust time frame, and so on. So you have a reference here of where the asset is, what the price is, and so on. So we can click next here. It's already in loop. So every time it exits, it's going to start monitoring for the entry condition. And we'll click next here, and we'll just call this NZD. You don't have to give it a name. Let's see, NZD change 1 hour, and we'll just put a negative. Oh, there we are. Okay, and we can go ahead and simulate the strategy. And the moment this entry condition is met, it's going to trigger a trade on just on this platform. It's obviously a simulation. It's not going through your FXCM account yet. Only when you're running it live will it go through the FXCM account. So that's a great page for you traders to you know, browse through when you have some time. We got to get moving here. So let's go to the My Strategies page. And here you can find all your strategies. So once they're created, once they're running, you can find all of your strategies here. So we have live strategies, which are running. These first two are the ones we just created here. These are simulated. You can see they're in yellow and it says simulate. If they're real, they'll be in white. David, can this work on demo accounts? David, no. Not at the moment. However, you can just run a simulation here, which is, it's not exactly the same, but you know, that's the best at the moment. We are looking at perhaps that in you know, in the near future. Great. So here you can create your strategies. And you can see here that you can create any strategies you want. We've just created two very simple strategies, and we're going to go into some more complex ones in a moment. So just to have a look here at some strategies that have been running at the moment. For example, here, this Tesla, I'm just trading off a support line here. And if we just go and have a look at the Tesla chart, let me see if I can find it here. There we are. We're just trading off 584, so let's just find that. Let's just put that in there. Okay, so we're trading off that line with the simple strategy, and every time the price of Tesla crosses this line, the simulation is triggering, and here it is. It's just if Tesla crosses below 584, then buy one Tesla, and I've just put a very simple trailing stop on here, so you can get a fair idea of how your strategies are trading through this list here. You know, I think at the moment you can create 20, but if you need more, you just let us know here on the NF chat that you need more strategies, and we'll let you know. Another question coming through. Hi, okay, so Veteran's asking, what are the fees for Capitalise? Veteran, Capitalise AI is free of charge. So we partner with FXCM, and if you're an FXCM trader, then you can use Capitalise AI for free. Great. I'll come back to these strategies in a moment, but here is your My Strategies page, and you can find all of your strategies here. You can find your stop strategies, you can find your back tests, and we're going to go ahead and actually create some strategies now. So let's go back to create new strategy. And okay, what we're going to do here is let's try and optimize a strategy. So let's take a currency pair. So let's go, if the GBP USD crosses below the lower Bollinger Band, and anytime you select an indicator, you'll be able to change the parameters at the top. So let's just change this to 15 of GBP USD. And let's not only go for just a crossover, let's go by 0.1%. So it doesn't only have to cross below, it actually has to cross below by at least 0.1%, then by, let's say, 1,000 USD worth of GBP USD. And we're going to click next. So we've got only one condition. Again, we're using an indicator this time, and we're looking for the price to cross below the lower Bollinger Band. I've gone with a 15-minute time frame here, cross below 0.1%. And let's click next. And let's close this position with a take profit and stop loss. So close position if profit per unit is, GBP USD is 10 pips. Okay, yeah, let's do with this. Or if loss per unit, I really need to work on my syntax, yeah. Or if loss per unit of GBP USD is above 7 pips. So let's try run this strategy, and let's see what backtesting results it brings, and then we'll try optimize it. So we're going to backtest, and important to note, traders, while you're backtesting, you don't have to stay on this page. The backtest will run in the background. I'm just going to click here on the control panel. And while this is, I actually need more. Okay, so if you traders ever see here an error saying strategy stop because the requested order amount is below the minimum amount required to enact a trade, obviously the $1,000 is too low. So let's go with 10 here. Remember, this is not including leverage or anything like that. So we're going to click next, and this should run. So let's back test it. And while this is back testing, let's go ahead and create some others. So what we're going to do is when you're looking at optimizing a strategy, you're looking to change either the entry or the exit. One of those is what you traders want to work on to see which is the best. So let's leave the entry for now, and let's just change a little bit around here. So let's up this to 20 pips, and let's maybe give us some more room at the bottom here, and change the 7 pips to 10 pips. And let's backtest that. And then while this is running, remember, you don't have to stay on the page. We're just going to go to clone. Guys, I see some questions coming up. I'll get to them as soon as I'm finished this optimizing. So we're going to keep the entry as is again, and let's up this to 30, and let's make this perhaps 15. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and backtest this, and let's just do one more. We'll see the results come out. This time, we're not going to use take profit and stop loss. We have been adjusting those a little bit, but let's just close the position with, what do we use? Lower, so let's close with a middle Bollinger Band. So we can go close position if GBP USD, close position if GBP USD crosses above the middle Bollinger Band. And again, we're going to put in our parameters here. So we're going to make this 15-minute close. What did we do the other one? 0.1. So let's go the same by 0.1%. So we've run very quickly 4 strategies, I think, four, I think, and we've just adjusted the exits a little bit. And let's see the results. And the easiest way to see them is here in the My Strategies page. And we can see a list, and we can see how they have performed. And while we're waiting for this to happen, let's just have a look at some questions coming through. Okay. Vedran, great question. Yeah, can we require it to take trades on specific days of the week or time of the day? So days of the week, not yet. This is frequently requested, and we're already looking into it. But time of the day, yes, you can, and I'm going to get into that strategy, or we'll do a strategy like that shortly. Great question there. Okay, so traders, let's get back into what we were doing here. Okay, so we were trying to look at how the strategies would have performed, and here are our strategies here that we've run here. It's these 4. And you can see here we've got a fairly nice pool of trades here, above 50 trades, and you can see the P&L for 10 pips profit and loss of 7 pips. Here we've got 65. We've managed to go actually much better. Here also, it's still a nice pool of 59 at 1.87, and here it's just below. So this is a great way to see how your strategies are performing with different exits, or if you want, tweak the entry and leave the exit, however you're optimizing your strategies. Great. So traders, we've done a couple of currency pairs. So let's move on to, you know what, let's go and create a strategy to run through a group of assets. So perhaps when you traders find a strategy that you really like, you may want to run that over a group of assets that you normally trade with. If you're a currency trader, you may want to run it over the currency pairs that you normally trade with, and this is the easiest way to do it at the moment. We are working, I want to mention that we're working on development of running a single strategy over a basket of assets. We're not there yet, but this is really easy once you get the hang of it. So let's go with a strategy here. So say if Google US price is below, let's go a 2-hour high. Let me see, 24 by 5 minute bar high. So even if you get stuck, you'll be prompted at the bottom with what to do, just like that. And if you're really stuck, just get us on the in-app chat. So we can say, we're just gonna look at a strategy here where if the price of Google drops from a 2-hour high by at least 2%. So we're looking for a drop in the price. Again, I'm using a 24 by 5 minute. You could use a 2 by 1 hour to put this exact thing. It just depends how often you want these calculations to be made. And here, this is being made every 5 minutes. So the moment Google drops from the 2-hour high, let's say we want to buy, then buy one Goog. Okay, and we'll click next. And on the exit, let's close the position with a trailing stop. A trailing stop of 5%. Okay, so we'll just run this, we'll backtest this strategy. And while we're backtesting this, let's just quickly, we're actually running out of time. Wow, time's gone quick. So let's try test this through a group of assets. And again, you want to clone the position. And any word that appears in bold on the wizard can be changed with the click of a mouse. So for example, Google could be changed to Apple, just like this. And it's a little bit painful, but once you get the hang of it, it takes a couple of seconds. So that's another backtest run. I'm gonna go back to the control panel, clone, and then we can have a look at the results that come through. So let's change Apple to Facebook. We're going with tech here, Facebook, and there. And we'll do one more. Let's clone it. And let's change this to NVIDIA. There we are. So very quickly there, I think it was a couple minutes at the most. We've run a single strategy over 4 assets. And once you get the hang of this, it'll be quick for you to run these strategies through. And again, I'll just go to the My Strategies page. And we'll go to backtest and we can see how these perform. David, thank you. David's writing, first impression, if this appears fairly user-friendly, that was our goal. We want this to be, as user-friendly as possible. Awesome comment, thanks, David. So here we have our 4 strategies that ran with this. A fairly small pool of trades, to be honest. But you can see here how these strategies perform over a group of stocks, over a group of assets. You can use these strategies with currency pairs or indices or stocks and so on. Great. So I had a question here from Vedran about time in force, and this is really important, traders. So let's get moving on after running that single strategy over a group of stocks. And let's go back to the wizard. So here, you can add a time in force in any strategy. So for example, Vedran wanted to enter trades during the London session. And that's really easy. So you could start your strategy with, let's say, between 0930 and 1600. I don't have London time. Maybe I could go, you could go UTC. Let's see what if we've got. You could work it out though. I mean, there's a lot of, oh, there we are, British time. So you could, if you're looking to only, trade the session in the UK, you could start your strategy off like that and say if, and whatever you're using. So, if you are USD, EUR USD, RSI, and again, you'll just enter the parameters at the top. Let's say crosses above 30, then, and so on. That means that even if this condition is met outside of these hours, the strategy is not going to trigger. You can also exit the strategy with a time in force. So let's just finish this and say, okay, above 30, then buy, let's say 1,000 EUR USD. And then you could put in your exit. For example, you can put as many conditions as you want. So you can say close position at profits above 1%, or loss is 0.5%, or at 15:59 my time. So however many you want to add in, however many conditions you want to add in, feel free to do that. Great. So Kim, great question. Is there a hard copy manual for this program? I'm going to go into that right now because we are running out of time, traders. So let me show you a few more things about Capitalise, and I want to set up smart notifications as well with you guys. So getting back to our left-hand menu bar, here we have our support page. So feel free to browse here, and whatever you whatever you're looking for, just type it in. So if you're looking for types of orders, for example, here you can find articles with types of orders. How many of you, let me ask this, how many of you trade with candlestick patterns here? Let me know if you trade with candlestick patterns. Zanita, thank you for your comment. Design like spreadsheet commands, very smart. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a couple of traders here who actually use candlesticks patterns, which is awesome. And with Capitalise, you can do that as well. Okay, so we've got some support and resistance, we've got some candlesticks, and those are the two next things I quickly want to run into. So let us start with some. Let's start with some support and resistance. So let's go to a currency pair here quickly. And let's just have a look at the Euro GBP. I just saw it was trading really nicely between these support and resistance. These are hypothetical. Obviously, support and resistance is very subjective. But, you know, if Euro GBP is something you're interested in trading, and, you know, when an asset nears a support and resistance, perhaps you like to watch the markets. Perhaps you like to watch this chart and you're like, okay, I want to see what's going to happen. Is it going to fall further or is it going to go above? No matter the case, you can set up these smart notifications on Capitalise. So you're never going to miss, you know, an important event. You know how many times it's happened when you've walked away from the chart for a couple of hours, or you got busy and you came back and you're like, man, I wish I would have, you know, seen that move happen. Something like this here. So you can set this up. So we can say, okay, let's take this line and move it a bit there. So we have a few highs that are actually on it. So we know if the price gets near there, we want to know about it. So we can see here Euro GB price here 0.922. So let's call it 923 actually, 0.923. Let's set up a smart notification for this. So we'll go back to Capitalise and we'll go to create new strategy. And we can start the strategy off with notify me. If EUR GBP, you could say price crosses, or you could just say Euro GBP. If you just, they both mean price. They both mean the current price of it. So you could use either or. So we could say if the Euro GBP crosses above, and we said it was 0.9293, if I'm not mistaken. What was that line? 923, we said it will be. Okay, so we could just say 923. And we could just click next. You don't need an exit with a notify. You can just click simulate straight away. Now, when this condition is met, you'll be notified via email. You'll be notified via mobile if you've downloaded our mobile app and set up notifications. So you can see how far we are from here, and you could do the, a support line as well. So we could say, okay, we want to know when it crosses below 0.85. So we could just go back, go to create new strategy, and just go notify me if EUR GBP crosses below was it 0.85, and click next and simulate. Same thing. If you're confident on the support and resistance that you're trading, and you feel it's either going to bounce or it's going to go through, you could just automate the strategy. So instead of notifying me, you could actually just put buy 1,000 Euro GBP if Euro GBP crosses below 0.85. Some more questions. Kenneth, can you do setups with stochastics, RSI, and MACD? Yeah, of course you can. So we have a wide variety of indicators, and we're constantly adding indicators. So you can do all of this with RSI, MACD, stochastics, Bollinger, pivot points. And if there's an indicator that you want to trade with and can't find, let me know about it here on the in-app chat. So send me all feature requests and so on. We like to hear all of it. Great, so that's an easy way to trade support and resistance just with prices. Let's get moving to I wonder if I'm going to have time, but I do have some traders here trading candlesticks. So let's quickly go through this. If your traders are interested in creating candlestick strategies, I run a webinar every month at Capitalise. We go through strategies, how to create everything from price action strategies to eco data to candlesticks and so on. So I'll just quickly show you here because we are running short here. And guys, I must say, like, the questions have been amazing. You guys have been interactive with this, like, it's amazing. So thank you guys, like, couldn't have done this without you. And let's have a look at this strategy here. And I'm running this exact strategy here. So you can create these candlestick patterns. Where's my picture? You can create these candlestick patterns with Capitalise. And it's really as simple as giving the bar a name and just showing where everything is. So let's just go over one example, because that's all I'm going to have time for right now. Is let's say we're trying to create a strategy. Here we have the previous bar. The previous bar is the latest closed bar. The current bar can never close. If a current bar closes, immediately becomes the previous bar. So this is the latest bar closed. You then have offset 1, offset 2, and you can go all the way, I think, up to offset 30. So you could define massive patterns with this. So just to give you an idea here, to define, let's say, this bar here as a bearish bar, we could say it has negative change, or we could say that the close of this bar is below the open of this bar. That would indicate it is a bearish bar, and that's exactly what I've done here. Look at the first line here. If Google bar, we're talking about any bar with this sentence here, bar 1 hour closed, and then we give it a name with an offset of 2. So we're speaking about the close of that bar with an offset of 2 is below the bar 1 hour open with an offset of 2. So we know we're speaking about the same bar. We've named each bar, and we know we're speaking about the close and open, and now we just have to place them. Guys, I'm sorry, if you want to know more about candlesticks, please check out our YouTube channel, Capitalise AI, or alternatively, just come to the support page and just type out, oh, why am I typing out Capitalise AI? Candlestick patterns. And here is a article that will walk you through exactly how to define it. And you know, if you need some help and you've got a strategy that you want to create, and you're not sure if you got it right or you need help with creating it, just send it to me on the chat here, and I'll help you out there. Great, guys, let's get moving because I quickly want to go through settings here. So here you can adjust your settings. You can adjust the time zone you're in. You can enable 2FA, and you can set up smart notifications. So you'll notice that my smart notification or my notifications are turned off on my web interface. That's because I use our mobile app. It's so much more convenient. I just get you know, a banner drop off when a trade has triggered, when a notification has come up, when a trade has exited. If anything's going wrong with my strategy, you'll receive notifications about it as well. So, you know, feel free to whatever's comfortable. If you like emails, switch on emails. If you prefer mobile, download the app, and you know, switch on notifications there. So you can do that there. And then when you want to connect your FXCM account, you can just actually connect a trading account here. So it's a form, I think it's just with your account number, your name, email address, the usual details. This goes to FXCM. They approve it, or they usually approve within 1 to 3 business days. So once you fill it out, you just click submit, and you'll receive a notification, an email when your account is connected. So that's how you connect your account there. Let's see if I had anything else to go over, because I think we've actually covered a lot of what we wanted to. Traders, I hope that you know, this was informational for you guys, and you know, let me know if anyone here is using Capitalise. Is there anyone here using Capitalise? Okay, Vedran, great question here. If we connect our FXCM account to Capitalise AI, can we still trade manually? Yes, of course. You can trade on both. So, you know, use Capitalise for your smart notifications and your automations that you're sure of and you want to use. And, you know, when you want to be in front of the chart and trading, feel free to trade on your FXCM account. There's no problem with that at all. Let's see, guys. Send through any last questions you may have, and let's see here. Actually, I might be missing some questions here. This week. David, I'm happy that you know, this was great information for you, and yeah, guys, you know, set up your Capitalise AI account powered by FXCM. You can set it up at fxcm.capitalise.ai. Alternatively, you can just go to Capitalise AI, go to login, and just sign up under FXCM, and start, you know, researching, simulating your tradings, get comfortable with automation and how it works. And obviously, you know, if you have any questions, I'm always here to help. Let's just see if we got any further questions coming in here. And let's see here. Okay, so Chris, we don't share user strategies. Great question. So all the strategies that you see here on the live examples page, they're just from the team here at Capitalise. We do have a Discord channel where traders can chat, and they do chat and, you know, share strategies that way. And, you know, when you join up Capitalise, you get a link to our Discord channel, and you can see what's happening there. So great question. Thank you. Let's see here, Carter. Okay, Carter, great question. Can I adjust the backtesting period? No, not at the moment. So our backtest or our beta backtest is defaulted to 90 days and can't be changed. That being said, we are already eyeing time adjusted backtest. It's a very new feature. We've released it about 4 or 5 months ago. And yeah, for the moment, it's defaulted to 90 days and it can't be changed at the moment. Great, guys. I think we've gone over everything. Thank you again so much for joining me on this webinar. If you're interested, please sign up at Capitalise and catch up with the next webinars that we'll be doing. We run one at least once a month. You guys have been amazing. Actually, the questions that have come through, really great. So, to all the traders here. Thank you from myself, from the team here at Capitalise AI, and from FXCM. And until next time, good luck trading, and yeah, happy, well, good luck for the week ahead. Cheers, guys.